All right, well, our next guest is someone we're always glad to have here at the Empire View, and she never fails to tantalize and amaze us. Please put your hands together to give a big Empire View welcome to the one and only Miss Leigh Hendricks.
We missed you.
Thank you. Oh, wow, it's good to see you again. It's been a while since I've been here. And I want to just get out of the way. You guys don't be mad at Keith, okay? It's not his fault. He invited me. He called. He emailed. He texted. He asked a lot, and I wanted to be here. But the reason I was not is it's the story that I'm going to tell you tonight, is part of the reason why I wasn't here. And the other reason was that I thought maybe Keith needed a little bit of time, because he seemed a little desperate, wasn't real attractive. So I just thought I would take a little break from seeing one another. And I am here now, and I'm very excited. And my story is, it's a story about love, and not about no traffic in this story. I have some notes this time, which is not always my way, but this is a new story and a new thing I want to tell you about, and a thing that happened while I was away from all of you. When I was little, my dad gave me a nickname. He called me Scooter because I was a scooter, I scooted instead of crawling. That's what it looks like. That's what scooting looks like. And my dad, I'm 28 years old, and our emails exchanges are usually between Scooter and Daddy. Oh, which is, I think, yeah, it tells you a lot about sort of the state of our relationship and what we are to one another. And so I'm really close to both of my parents, even though they live in South Carolina, and sometimes that feels as far away as you can even be. I mean, you can get on a plane, or you can drive there in like 15 hours, because I do, with my girlfriend and my cats. So we can't fly, because we can't leave the cats. That's another story. So sometimes, but sometimes it seems so far away for an only child, and I miss them a lot. So my dad and I have a lot in common. We love to read books. We cry during Hallmark commercials and animal movies. And we have the incredible, like myopic almost, ability to ignore the sound of our name when it's coming from my mother's mouth in the house. Leigh, Ronnie, watching the show, reading the book, don't hear a thing. And so my dad has had glomerulonephritis, which is a type of kidney disease that affects the part of your kidneys that help filter waste and fluid from the blood, and they're damaged. And so damage to the glomeruli, which they look like they're the part of the nephrons, I don't know, I'm gonna go try here, that sort of have these little loopy things on it. I don't know if you remember from like high school biology, but they cause blood and protein to be lost in the urine. All right, you were wanting to know. So, we don't know all the reasons why this might happen for somebody, and some people, that happens for a while, it's a problem, and it goes away. Some people have it for a longer time through treatment, they go into remission, and they're fine. And then there are some folks that ultimately they have kidney failure, and they'll need a transplant. And that happened to my dad. After many years of managing the disease, during which I managed to be so concerned with my own life that I kind of didn't even know that it was happening, that it was headed that way. This is a downer, but it gets better. So I didn't always know that was a potential thing for my dad, but it was. And the doctors, they say to my dad that he's going to need to have a kidney transplant. Well in advance of dialysis or anything like that, he still lived a pretty regular life and felt okay, but the kidney function was going down and was going down. And I was able to be a kidney donor. And so I did that with my dad in November of last year. And it was amazing. Like, that was a wonderful thing, and I'm not a hero though, you guys, I don't.
Yeah,
calm down. Calm down. But it was awesome. And the whole process leading up to it was pretty scary and kind of stressful, especially for my mom, and because she was so powerless. I think I was relieved of a lot of the worry because I was part of the process. So I didn't have to think too much about what happened after the fact. I just knew that I could do this thing. And it was a perfect match, naturally, because I already told you guys how much we had in common, right? So we were like books and crime, so physiologically, it's gonna be great. Everybody just knew it. So okay, I'm pretty sure you're wondering, how does this work, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great, good response. So what happens is they always take the left kidney of the donor, and so they did. They took my left kidney through like a surgery that's mostly laparoscopic. So there are 3 holes that they make, and then they use like little utensils. I imagine it goes a lot like this. And they like look at this thing. And then they detach the kidney, and then when they remove it, it's through an incision that's really low, like you might have for a C-section. It's only outside of the donor's body for like 20 minutes, and then it's, you know, in the recipient, and they put it behind their right hip and attach things more directly to the bladder and a femoral artery right here. The femoral artery, not ephemeral. No one has arteries that are ephemeral. And so that's where it is. And so now, you know, I have 1 kidney. He has 3. They leave the other 2. They leave his kidneys, and eventually, when they stop functioning completely, you know, the other kidney will take over all by itself. And you might say, a lot of people say even, oh, it's a miracle how well it's gone, because it has been a perfect match. It has been super simple and super wonderful, and he's doing really well. I healed really well, and we're both sort of moving on with our lives. But, you know, or you might say, oh, the wonders of science. And I just want to pause, and I want to tell you guys that I don't believe any of that. Like, I don't believe in miracles. I don't believe in science. It doesn't make it any less exciting, but I just want us to call it what it is, and it's magic. So, that's it. I just don't want to, let's not pretend. And so, I didn't hesitate, ever, to do this for him, and I think that a lot of my fear and anxiety, though, ultimately was manifest in a dream I had the first night I was in the hospital, that we were in the hospital. Because initially I was in a lot more pain, and I was a lot more uncomfortable than he was, because he got something he needed, and I had a body part taken out that, like, harvested, that I was still using. And so he healed a little bit more quickly initially than I did. And so the first night, I think you guys will maybe enjoy this story of this dream. I think a lot of the anxiety and fear I had about the future for my dad and what that was going to be like, and also for myself, because at the time I was an underemployed theater artist, unsure of what was going on next. And I think all I knew at the moment was that I was able to do this for my dad. And so I feel like all of those things got kind of mushed together. And that first night in my drug haze, that sleep, that painful sleep, I had this dream that I was back in Providence right after the surgery, maybe days, like a couple of days, and I was out. And I was meeting Stuart Wilson and Eric Fulford, and ultimately Keith and Melissa were supposed to be there too at this bar, and it was sort of an industrial situation, or I don't know, some place they just stuck some picnic tables in and like a DJ and some folding tables for a bar, and said, hey, come on down, and so we did. And I met them there, and there were some other people sitting at the table, and Stu says to me, hey, this is Allison, and you're gonna ride with her to Austin. And I was like, sure. Yeah, okay, I don't know, we're going to Austin, apparently. And I said, yeah, that'll be great, we'll go to Austin, I'm excited. And she made a face. And I thought, what's going on? And I said, what, do you not want me to ride with you? We've never met before, in the dream. And I say, do you not want me to go? She's like, well, I don't know. I mean, we don't have a lot of room, and I don't really know you. And I lose it. like I flip out on this girl in my dream, and I pick up my drink and I throw it in her face and I hit her. I call her a terrible word, and then I go running out of the bar, but I'm in all this pain and discomfort because I literally days before had major abdominal surgery, and I'm like running from the bar, and all of the other people in the bar start throwing their drinks on me, and it's just like all of these drinks coming at me, and I'm running at top speed out of the bar, and I come flying out the front doors, and I run past, and there's Melissa and Keith, and they've just pulled up, and they're getting out of the car, and they try to stop me. They're like, what's wrong? What's going on? I'm like, no, 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 and I throw them off, and I won't let them stop me. I just keep running, and suddenly I wake up from this dream, and the first thing I think is, I only have one kidney. Like, that was the moment that it sort of struck me. So on the heels of all of that drama, and I don't fully know what it means, but I feel like, you know, that was my fear, and that was the things that were scary that I had sort of not thought about. And also my idea, though, of Providence as the place that I wanted to come back to as quickly as possible, even in pain, leaving some piece of me behind, which I think, so that other kidney is with my dad. It's at home in the place where I come from, and I'm here in the place where I really want to be. And although you sometimes ask to speak to it on the phone, just to check in. And I can ask for it by name because my dad has named the kidney Scooter Jr. So, thank you.